Okay. So hey guys, I just want to give my initial thoughts and reaction to the Airbnb IPO. So a few things, it looks like we're having another snowflake kind of situation. If you guys have any questions, let me know. So DoorDash had a crazy IPO yesterday and had really inflated valuation. So did I invest in Airbnb today? So I initially put some money in Airbnb right when it went public, and then I think it was around $149, and then I sold when it was a little bit above because I realized that looking at the valuation, the market cap, my projection for this company in the next year or two was $100 billion in market cap valuation. So I decided that I'm just gonna sell, make a few pennies here and there, and then jump back in when the hype dies down. And can you guys hear me okay? Let's see. I haven't done this before, so I need to see where I see the chat. I don't know if anyone's chatting. But, and then, so as we're seeing right now with the price, it is starting to sell off a little bit, and that's a great thing. I'm hoping that we're going to see a sell off, more of a sell off, so I can actually start a position. So I'm not holding any Airbnb shares at the moment. And yeah, let's see. Can you guys hear me? Where's the chat here? Okay, cool. Loud and clear. Okay, awesome. I can see you guys. In at 146. Yeah, actually, I mean, the reason why I jumped in right away at 149 and then I sold over 149 was because of the news earlier today when I heard about, okay, the initial price is going to be 156. So that was kind of my target. I was thinking, oh, if I can get underneath that, if I wanted to scalp a little bit, I could sell above that. And so we did see somewhat of a run like that, but then also at the same time, you have to be aware with these IPO stocks, it's not so uncommon, especially if you looked at Lyft and Uber and a lot of stocks like that, they sell off intraday a lot of the times. But I'm not saying Airbnb will be one of those cases because I think Airbnb has such a stronger value proposition. And even if you get into the stock at like 150 or something like that, because I think that this stock, if the pandemic never happened, I think that the valuation could be at close to 100 billion today. And so for me, it's more like 100 billion in a year or two, but also you never know with the stock market. I mean, these days valuations are going through the roof. I mean, if DoorDash is worth 60 billion today, and it's probably down a little bit today, but if DoorDash is worth that much, how much is Airbnb worth? I'd pay at least double for that. I mean, if it was, you know, for being logical here. Hotels on the verge of closing, yeah, and I just like Airbnb because you don't have to have the capital. Like if real estate keeps increasing, you don't have to spend so much money to buy land and build and construct, and you can have that just right away. You can instantly get the revenue and not have to wait months until you get your construction done. So Airbnb is just really nimble, and it's really a tech company, and it has this moat because I don't think that anyone can just jump into the space and be really compelling because you have to have that trust between the network that you're creating. So yeah, I think so. Airbnb is pretty interesting play. I'm gonna wait again until it dies down a little bit. The hype is just too much. I hope it can go down to like $100 because I don't want to buy at 100 billion in market cap if my expected earnings from my expected return in a year or two is 100 billion. So that doesn't make too much sense there, and that's purely just to play hype then. Unless I can see more about the story and I can raise my own target for this company. But if I'm looking at a 4 to 5 year target for this company, it's a lot more. I can see, you know, that's I haven't thought too much about that, but it would be a lot higher than that. Hyliion's still dropping. Yeah, Hyliion, I didn't check. Let's see, it was staying above. Okay, so it went below 1740. I was thinking that we might stay above 1740 today, but it's not so surprising because I said also if we opened below 18, then I would expect us to get to 1740 pretty quickly, but then I didn't think 1740 would hold because just of this downward pressure that we see here, and we weren't able to get above the downward trend line before dropping below. IMMP. That's good. Okay. Well, if anyone has thoughts on that, I actually don't know anything about IMMP. I can take a look at the chart right now. Yeah, and Hyliion, let's see, it's definitely in this it's in this getting in this zone where we'll see if 16 holds, and I mean, so ideally we'd close above 1740 today, and if we don't, and so my bias right now is going to go down to 16, and if 16 doesn't hold, this thing can go, you know, it could go. The next target will be around 14 probably, and then it'll go to 10. But if we do end up going to 10, we're gonna go through 10. We're not gonna hold at 10, in my opinion, if we happen to go that low. And there's no reason we can't go that low because that's like a 1.5 billion market cap. But it just depends when the buyers step in. It depends because I mean I think that Hyliion is, is under 20 is a hold if not a buy under 20. I'm not buying more shares at the moment, but I'm also not selling my shares either. If I do sell some shares, I'd be selling some shares around the $28 range. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this IMMP stock. Oh wow, looks like it completely jumped up today. 200%, just a cool 200%. Wonder what the catalyst was for that. Interesting. I don't know what for this kind of a stock, I mean, it's probably a penny stock. You have to have some sort of either a game plan. You want to sell at a certain price, or you have a valuation of where you think it might be in a year or 2 years, and that could justify going into this stock. Depends on what the market cap is of this stock. Then you can think of, I have no idea what the market cap is right now, but if the market cap was 100 million and you think that this should be worth, 250 million or something like that, and that's kind of, the strategy I use with Airbnb and most stocks. It's the story where I see that stock going, and it's also you really like the management, the CEO, and the culture. You need, and then, so if you have that projection of where a company's going, but this is more of maybe a short-term play. I'm not sure how compelling a company IMMP is. And then one stock that I'm looking at, and so what's this? INAQ, the Metromile stock. This stock's been having a pretty good day. I think it's at 1285. This is still a stock for me though that it's more of a short-term to mid-term play. I'm still not long this stock, which I mean I'm open to becoming long, but I'm looking to make a profit there. My average right now, I've been buying additional shares. My average right now is around $12.45 at the moment, and so we're looking at a $12.84. We're getting into a range where we could break out soon. I'm looking at $13, around $13.50 is if we can get over that, that's where we're gonna really start to break out to the upside. But this could easily go to close to 10. If the initial hype is done, it could easily go back to 10 and then wait for the next run up closer to the merger. And this is a game that we're playing with SPAC stocks. But this game, I don't know how long it's gonna last. I mean, this game is still a good game to play. But there's some point where the SPAC game will be unplayable, and that I definitely think that. I think that you're gonna get these announcements of these SPAC mergers, and then you're gonna see like a 10-cent bump, just like we saw, a year or two ago. That's what it was. When you saw the SPAC merger announced, it literally made the stock go up only like 10 cents. So I think we're gonna see that again at some point in the future. I don't know if that's in a year from now. I don't know if that's gonna happen soon. But I do think that this is not a sustainable kind of. Generally, when you make these deals, there shouldn't be so much gained value from the deals. You kind of price them at a fair price. So it doesn't make logical sense that it's happening, but there's just a lot of hype around these SPACs at the moment. 1259, I assume that's INSU. This stock also, it's kind of strange. It usually goes down during the day and then it spikes up at the end of the day. So if we can stay strong during the day, then that's pretty encouraging just in terms of price action alone, and the buyers are kind of stepping in. I mean, the volume is not really there still, so there's that. Okay, let's see. Might have to jump off soon. Okay, a few more minutes. Hyliion merger was a mess. Could go to 200. You're talking about Airbnb. That's what I'm looking for. That'd be a pretty sweet trade. Pandemic may have helped them long term. That's pretty true. Pandemic might have helped Airbnb long term, and that's absolutely true. I think that's correct. And people who are going to work from home more, so you're going to have this. There's so many factors pushing in this direction because you have work from home. That's going to cause people to have more home ownership, most likely. So you have that happening, and not everyone needs to necessarily own a home, because if you have your own home and you're working in your home, there's all these tax benefits that you can have with that. So you can write off your mortgage or a portion of your mortgage. In addition, you can have Airbnb, people staying at your place as well. So I mean, the pandemic in terms of hurting the hotel businesses, of course, but then in addition, I think there's other things that people might not be factoring in how the work from home and home buying is probably going to increase due to taxes and advantages there, and then taking advantage of sharing your space, sharing your home, and maybe even sharing. The next thing that might happen is literally sharing your home as a workspace. That could be something that happens too, because you're having so many. Because people also want to have, still social interaction too. If you have more people working from home, you're gonna want to have social interaction too. So, and then also, like for example, myself, I have 2 kids. It's hard to work from home all the time as well. So I would be interested in, working at someone else's place if they have a nice setup there. So that's something that can happen too. And Airbnb might even help promote that. So Airbnb, if you're listening to this is some ideas for you guys. Airbnb's price is at 145, 144, 95 right now. So we are getting a little bit of a dip, and I'm hoping that continues. I mean, hoping that it goes up for whoever's still swing trading it. But if you're in it for the long run, if it goes down a lot, average down. And that's the one reason why I was thinking to maybe hold on to a few shares, is just that it helps me to average down. Because if you don't have any shares and you're thinking just when to jump in, then it's a little bit tough. But it's fun kind of to average down. So that's something that I like to do, and it just helps psychologically to get you to buy more shares. If you're gonna, it's like, okay, it's a deal today, I'm gonna average down. It's not so easy necessarily to average up. That's just me. And then so if I put things in place that helps me still buy stocks, because stocks go up a lot of times, right? So if I have a hard time buying stocks just because it's going up, I'll do some automated things so I don't have my emotions get in the way for me wanting to buy and own more stocks. Okay. Any more questions? I'm going to shut this down soon. Oh. Okay, let's see. Okay. Well, yeah, thanks for hopping in on this. It's awesome. 15 people were watching, so that was pretty cool. I didn't think anyone was going to watch, so that was pretty awesome. So I'll catch you guys in the next one, and we'll cover more Airbnb and Hyliion and all that good stuff. All right, see you guys.